Hey, this is Prometheus giving you a defensive tip that I have labbed to try to figure out how to stop certain types of plays on the field. And most recently, I had played a game against one of my opponents, and he basically was beating me with corner routes the entire time. And you would think that you could go ahead and use man coverage and shade to the outside, but that doesn't necessarily stop these corner routes. These corner routes actually go ahead and beat those routes fairly consistently. So even if on man coverage, if you shade to the outside, it's still not going to allow you to go ahead and stop those corner routes. As you can see right there, green actually stops it. So there are a couple things you can do to stop those corner routes. You can go ahead and take your safeties and have them play down the middle of the field to go ahead and take away those corner routes. So a quick adjustment you can do. Take away those corner routes is like this, where the defender's in the area, but you can see he still actually makes a play at it. So right here, we're going to go ahead and try to have both my defenders, but that leaves me weak up the middle. So right here, I've got basically my defenders coming over, my safeties coming over to go ahead and put them in purple zones, which is curl flats, to try to take away that play. And the defenders are in the area, but it does leave the center of the field wide open, which essentially I've got to cover, and that exposes me to deep passes right down the middle of the field. Just another thing I've got to be concerned about when I go ahead and pull my safeties out of the deep halves look. So I started playing around with different types of zone coverages, and I think I found a coverage that actually can stop, or at least defend, or at least give an opportunity to make a play against the ball against your opponent. And the plays actually cover two, and the adjustments that I actually do with the cover two is I try to go ahead and zone up all my linebackers to get 4 linebackers falling back in coverage, and I baseline twice. So I double baseline, and then I do an inside shade with this play. And when I do an inside shade, what happens is my corners actually fall back into that circle route, where you would think an outside shade would actually be the smart thing to do based on a play, but as you can see, the corner route is wide open right there, with the defender not playing. Now I can do over the top is one of my options, and actually will take my corners off a little bit further, but it leaves the flat wide open. So I found actually on these corner routes is the inside shade actually plays the corners much better than the any other play right there. And as you can see right here, I actually got a safety help right there when the wide receiver goes up. So on this play, the corner comes down, he bites down like he's actually going to go ahead and play the flat, and then all of a sudden he goes back up again and actually tries to take the inside of the C route, and then he falls back into that C route, essentially taking that away. So if your opponent looks for that bite and actually throws it blindly, that's going to allow yourself to actually get an interception. On the right side, you can have a similar look too. With the corner, he comes down and then he comes back up, and he actually floats back into the C route. So basically you've got three defenders around that C route that are there in the area to make a play. And that's what I like about the way this is set up. Now, is this the best way to stop C routes? Absolutely not, especially if you're playing against an opponent. Especially if you're playing against an opponent that actually has some kind of a scheme. As you can see there, he got the ball off right there. But this is just a nice little way. This is kind of a sneaky little way to go ahead and force your opponent to check down the flats if he leaves those corners in a stock formation. So once again, I really appreciate your support. I really hope this helps you, allow you to go ahead and make a play, get a key play against your opponent if he starts hitting you with these C routes. it might actually give you an opportunity to go ahead and get a crucial interception against your opponent. Thanks a lot. Until